So to that point, let's talk about the big acquisition of partnering with Greenwood, who was a fintech company.
Fintech, yeah.
And I believe when that acquisition happened, that was when I was able to get a return on my investment, right?
Yeah.
But still have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
And you know what was so devastating about that partnership?
What?
TK sent me an article about the whole totality of what it looked like, right? I read it. Bloomberg article, right? And to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong, Greenwood tried to only use minority-based banks to make this deal happen.
Yeah.
And with my research, it said collectively around the United States, there's only 20 minority-owned banks.
Yeah.
Out of those 20, did you remember how much collectively that they had in assets?
I think it's like $5 billion in assets.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It's a.
So just to put that into perspective, right? Let's take everybody that's in this room right now. Camera, you can't see this, but I say anywhere from about 15 to 20 people are in this room right now, right? So basically we have a town hall meeting and we say, hey, we need everybody's money to put up as collateral assets to be able to make this acquisition that we all can be a part of, correct?
Right.
And it collected, or all the collections added up to be close to $6 billion. Let's give it, $6 billion. Okay, we walk out of the room, walk down the hall, and let's just run into Chase Bank. We're not even talking about Wells Fargo. We're not even talking about Bank of America, Truist, Regions, none of the credit unions or whatever, just banks. Chase, JP Morgan, Chase Bank alone. Did you remember that number, how many assets they have?
I can't even call that number.
It is $3.2 trillion.
Yeah, it's trillions.
So basically saying to you, all the minorities around, minority banks alone, can't even compete with one American bank.
Yeah. No, that's why we're doing this. This season is about scale. So I said it like we'll look back and it's going to be about partnership. Those partnerships should help our businesses get to scale, and that is where we have to stay focused, because it's not about shaming any one every bank is trying to be as big as they can be.
But hold on. It's not about shaming. It's about educating, though, too.
We got to know.
In that same article, it did speak on the insufficiencies or the trying to say the right word now, because I done been going viral here lately. I would say insufficiencies of acceptances of loans. And a bank, you can do your own research, has been sued because a certain group of people are able to get loans that other people aren't able to get. And you can't tell me that if somebody comes and try to have a small business loan, credit or no credit, we know, Pookie doggone credit messed up way before he get 18 years old because his mama been running his doggone, just throwing a muck. I mean, just messing it all up, right? But at the end of the day, you should still have opportunity to grow.
We have to have institutions in our community that can do the type of deals that you're talking about. Like, it's really the long and short of the conversation is that we do not have we don't have banks, we don't have financial institutions right now that have the capacity at scale to do the type of
what
deals.
Like when you say institutions, like give me a tangible thing.
I'm talking about
just
like banks that can do loans that we own, right? Like because banks make money on the products that they offer. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people think that like banks make money off of the deposits that we put in.
No.
They deploy that capital.
Banks make money off of debt.
It's products. They have a bunch of different products, mm-hmm. and they charge folks interest on those products.
Correct.
And that's how they make money, right? On the difference.
Mm-hmm.
We don't own enough businesses, or banks rather, at scale to fully supply because we start companies all the time. Like we actually, if you look at the research, we start more companies than most communities do.
Mm.
We don't have financial services. This happened with TGS. We were growing. I'm looking around and I'm like, man, we keep begging to get invited to some of these tables.
Mm.
This move is about saying, I'm not begging nobody to come to a table anymore. When somebody from the community calls and says, hey, I'm looking for a banking product, we're like, okay, cool. Go talk to our banker.
You're right.
The banker that's a part of our company that can talk. And it's not always going to be a yes that comes from that conversation, but you're going to have one, and it won't always be a no, right? And if you know the history of banking and you know the wealth gap that exists in this country,
Right.
we got to have institutions that are able to specifically service our needs.
Right.
And that's what we're doing. All right. It's not, so everything about the Gathering Spot is staying the same. We're just now doing it with the ability to be able to point our community to our own folks and resources to help them achieve whatever it is that they're working on.
Right.
So we can talk to business owners about deals in a way that we couldn't before. Like we weren't a bank, right? So we were always trying to point them to other banks, but now this is a different situation. I can be like, no, open an account with us.
Right.
And like, we own that company. And the other thing that's been interesting for me is that we interact with businesses all the time where a lot of times we don't even know it, but like there'll be one parent company that owns a whole bunch of stuff.
Subsidiary company.
Man.
Subsidiary, same thing.
Man, you look at like fashion, all the fashion houses.
Oh, of course.
We'll be in here like, I see you got that new, and then you'd be like, I see you.
All that's up under VF Corporation.
The same company's like, I don't care what y'all wear.
The dude, what's my man? He owns Moet. He owns Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
He owns Cartier. I think he owns Tiffany Co. He just owns so much stuff.
The LVMH chart is crazy.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, folks should go and just look at LVMH as a model for what it's like to just control
The
whole industries.
The market.
I one of the craziest meetings I had, LA, I met Jay Penske, who is the owner of Penske Media. A lot of people don't even know.
Penske what?
Media. Penske Media Corporation. Penske Media, on the low, owns Rolling Stone, Vibe, Billboard. The list goes on and on. There's 40 brands that they have under their portfolio, all one company.
Right.
Billboard, right? Like stuff we read.
Right.
One company. Deadline. Like it was crazy sitting in this office where it's like
Everything.
a lot of the media that we consume, certainly in music, again, Rolling Stone, Billboard, Vibe, I mean, WWD, it was like crazy number of publications, one company. So we have to start thinking about our businesses in the same way. And that's where partnership comes in, where it's like, what is it like to have 100 of these? Where some are under this brand, some are under that brand.
How does this fit the right way? Like what avenue? Having a strategic plan and executing it.
Absolutely.
I think the thing that also was spoken to me as we kind of wrap things up here is beef is different in cultures. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just use the cut and dry one. Let's talk about a white guy beef and a black guy beef. Two white guys beefing is completely different than two black guys beefing. And I'll give you an example, right? Two white guys. I can't fucking stand Dan. God damn it, John, he's a motherfucker. But guess what? They'll make millions of dollars together and will hate each other's guts. I mean, despise them. Sarah, I don't want you hanging out with Dan's daughters or sisters or damn sure not his sons. But they'll make millions of dollars together. Now, let's flip the script. Zabo and Demetrius, they beef. If he say, I don't fuck with him, it's almost like they could kill each other. If he was burning up, I wouldn't even piss on him.
I think the thing we've got to recognize is that is taught, is learned behavior.
Everything is taught.
It's not a, we have been taught to not trust one another. We've been taught to not work with one another. And again, I think the challenge to our community is to say, nah, like, we're going to do business together.
Yes.
And look, there's going to be good and bad experiences in business everywhere. Like, this happens with customer service stuff all the time. Folks will be like, yo, I tried to give a black business a chance, and they messed me up. My order wasn't good.
Bro, listen, no. I'm sorry to cut you off. But one thing about me, I'm a proud black person, right? I don't hide from it. I don't shy away from it. I don't tuck my blackness. Listen, you getting the blackest of the black when you're dealing with me.
Yep.
But with that being said, it should not alter my professionalism.
No.
It should not alter my vernacular.
No.
It should not alter my just the appearance of what I have going on. And if anybody's gonna buy black, it's gonna be me.
Yep.
Small businesses, it's gonna be me. But one thing that I despise, if I'm taking my service to a black-owned business and that business does not meet my standards of expectation, it's such a turnoff.
Businesses have to be excellent. I agree with you. You can't be anything less and expect people to rock with you.
Correct.
All I'm saying is there are going to be moments where mistakes are made, and you got to keep the same energy when other companies make those mistakes as you do when companies inside of the community do. That's it, right? Because everybody has had their bag lost at the airport at some point. And most of them ain't going on Twitter
running it down.
No. So when those moments happen, all I'm asking for is the same grace that a lot of times we give elsewhere, knowing that excellence is absolutely what should be required.
So basically, all you're saying is, if somebody comes down to the gathering spot on multiple locations, you got the Atlanta location, the DC location, the LA location.
That's three there right now. We work, but
right?
Yep.
That's the three we're working with right now. If you go to any one of those locations, you get you a bite to eat, and it so happens to come out cold. You want the same grace that you will give Chick-fil-A.
Yes, and I want you to know that I'm about to go to our team. And we're going to work to try to make sure that problem doesn't happen again. Because to your point, I can't give you less than excellent. Like I'm not. This isn't an excuse for not being amazing. You should be.
Right.
But in life, people are going to have moments that are not their best, and I think highlighting those moments in ways that again make it feel like we do this more. Like every business makes mistakes.
Right.
You interact with a company long enough, your reservation is gonna get messed up. Right. Your food, like it doesn't matter. You can go
eventually. That's just the price of admission.
It's like the numbers eventually gonna get you there. All I'm asking for is that we just like, hey, okay,
understand.
And because it's very important that we have businesses in our community like start and scale, I'm gonna give you another shot to get that right.
Right.
You ain't have it today. I'm gonna come back next week. I'm gonna give you another opportunity. Now look, if it's messed up next week,
you would never see my dollar.
I ain't got nothing for you. But if today was a bad day, all right, let's
all have bad days.
I think it's fair to say everybody has an off day at some point, and having the opportunity to get back up and have another day, I think that is one of the greatest gifts that we can give, specifically business owners.
Right.
It's just the chance to be able to try again. And I think sometimes we don't talk about it in that way. We suggest like, yo, you give me one bad sandwich, close shop. You shouldn't exist. Fire everybody. Turn the lights off.
Right.
I'm like, nah, like they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be back next week to make sure it's okay because we gotta make sure that like we do this thing together.
Correct. I like that, man.